Welcome to Maiden Mother Crone Tarot, where we hold sacred space for the intuitive ADHD woman, space for her chaos, space for her creativity, space for her neurodivergence. My name is Kayla and I'm so glad you're here. Today's tarot topic is Don't Fix Me, Just See Me. Tarot for ADHD relationships and emotional freedom. We're going to begin today with a few oracle cards. I claim my desires. I hold great visions. I am ready to receive. This is the Animal Oracle deck. Turkey Spirit, give with grace and gratitude. This actually came out in our last live stream. I'll link that for you above if you'd like to check it out. In my practice, I like to dedicate the oracle decks and tarot decks that I work with to the spiritual archetypes that I channel. These decks are dedicated to the Maiden. Maiden, can you please give us guidance today on Don't Fix Me, Just See Me, Tarot for ADHD relationships and emotional freedom. Feelings. Emotions want to be felt. You really can't surrender something until you deeply feel it. Allow me, dear divine, to offer all emotions to you, feeling them fully so they can no longer hold me captive. Hardships. May I embrace what's happening right now, as baffling or painful as it is. Help me, God, to trust where you are guiding me. I am yours. Okay, so this is a new one. The other two have came out multiple times in readings. Divine timing. The divine brings things in the timing that we need. Nothing comes before we're prepared, nor leaves too early. May I always trust your perfect and holy timing, dear Lord. Okay. Sorry about that. Tarot guidance for Don't Fix Me, Just See Me. We have the Six of Swords on the bottom of the deck. Oh my. The next deck is dedicated to the Mother. Mother, can you please give us guidance today on the topic of Don't Fix Me, Just See Me, Tarot for ADHD relationships and emotional freedom. Okay, B has come out a few times. Community, cooperation, and sweetness. And Autumn, bounty and balance. I'm going to shuffle this deck off camera because of the artwork on the back. Tarot guidance, please, Mother, for And I'm going to put these face up because The artwork on the back is not approved. And we're going to go ahead and take one more. That one. Okay, and we have the Empress on the bottom of the deck. And the last decks we are going to work with today are dedicated to the Crone. The spiritual archetype of the Crone, the deep inner knowing that we all carry with us. Crone, can you please give us guidance today on Don't Fix Me, Just See Me? Tarot for ADHD relationships and emotional freedom. Don't fix me. Don't fix me. Okay, we got 34, Ancient Wisdom. And 23, Forgiveness. Crone, can you please give us guidance today? Don't fix me, just see me. Okay. And we have the High Priestess on the bottom of the deck. We're going to start off with this oracle card that we got at the beginning. I claim my desires. I hold great visions. I am ready to receive. The message I'm getting from this card is before you can expect others to know how to treat you, to know how to witness you, witness your energetic spirals, you really have to be ready to claim who you are, to step into the power of your ADHD. Because if you don't accept that you don't look like everyone else, that your brain is wired differently, if you have a problem with the fact that you are going to get distracted or that your energy is going to spiral and one day you're going to be able to do a million things and another day you're just going to want to stay on the couch, if you have a problem with that, then others in your life are going to want to fix it to make you feel better. So the first step is acknowledging who you are, accepting who you are without judgment, without a need to fix, and holding space to receive that acceptance from others. Turkey spirit, give with gratitude and grace. In these relationships, you want to show up, and maybe you need to have a conversation. Maybe you need to start this conversation with gratitude. While you're discussing your expectations, setting understanding between you and this person, first, show up with gratitude. Tell them thank you. Thank you for always trying to help me. Thank you for loving me so much that you try to find solutions for me. Thank you for being there for me, for showing up in my life. And give them grace. Understand that the reason they are trying to help you through this situation, the reason they are trying to manage your symptoms for you, is because they feel like you need that support. They're not doing it from a place of you're not enough. They're trying to aid you. And if you haven't had a conversation with them, if you haven't told them what you expect and how you are totally fine when you go off on a tangent, when you are in your recent hyper-focus and you're just lost, that you're fine with that it's a balm to your soul. Give them grace. This divine timing card is beautiful. The divine brings things in the timing that we need. Nothing comes before we're prepared, nor leaves too early. May I always trust your perfect and holy timing, dear Lord. This conversation was meant to happen now. There were lessons for both of you before this could happen. This is the time to have this discussion. This is the time, and it could be because, as I said, you have to be ready to accept yourself. You have to be prepared to step into your full authenticity, to understand that ADHD is not something that's wrong with you. It's something that makes you unique. It's something that makes you special. And even in that realm, women with ADHD aren't all the same. We all have different personalities. We all have different backgrounds. We were all brought up with different environments. We have different beliefs. You are the only version of you. And I think that's phenomenal. And I hope you are understanding that as well. In this conversation, when you are dealing with this person, really discuss how you feel. Don't accuse. Try to use, I talked about this in my book, try to use I feel instead of you are. For example, instead of saying, you always try to make me stay on a schedule, you could say, when someone tries to structure my day for me, even with love, I feel overwhelmed. Like I'm being pulled away from the way that my brain naturally flows. This approach invites understanding so that you are not accusing them. You're not shaming them, their approach. You are approaching them with this gratitude and grace, creating a neutral ground for understanding. May I embrace what's happening right now, as baffling or painful as it is. Help me, God, to trust where you are guiding me. I am yours. In this card, I'm really drawn to the idea of being in the now, the present moment, grounding into what you're going through, where you are. And part of that, as we discussed earlier, is understanding that right now you are in a hyperfocus. You are in something that you are delving into. Or right now you are recovering. Your energy is restoring. You are resting, which is sacred and not earned. Rest is not earned. Bring that into the conversation. You could say something like, my brain doesn't work in a linear way. I have cycles of deep focus and then total stillness. And both are part of who I am and how I move through the world. Normalize your neurodivergence. Normalize your lived experience. What you're doing is totally normal. There is no reason for it to be fixed or for it to follow a structure. You're leading with your heart, with your soul. You're leading with your presence, with being here in the now, even if that is hard. Those two oracle cards were from the Maiden. We're going to go ahead and open the rest of her cards. So we got the Sun here. The Page of Pentacles. Ooh. The Ten of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles. Wow, that is a lot of grounded energy, guys. Pentacles, Pentacles, Pentacles. And the Four of Wands. Ooh, I love that. I love this. The Maiden is really showing up. First, she brings forth the Sun. Everything grows with the Sun. The Sun is vitality, is strength, is warmth and optimism, is joy. Followed by the Page of Pentacles. Pages are students. Pentacles is groundedness. How can you ground into who you are in the full, beautiful light of who you are and stay grounded, even as you're a page, even as you're learning, even as you're curious? And then we have the Ten of Pentacles. And while you're on this learning journey, you're setting an example for future generations to come, for them to be their own authentic selves, for them to understand there is nothing wrong with who they are. They don't need to be fixed. They just need to remember. They just need to be the witness and understand. As you're requesting right now for them to be the witness of you, they just need to be the witness of themselves. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles. This is a gift from Spirit. Look at the hand coming from the sky, holding this pentacle, holding this nugget of truth, holding this groundedness, offering it to you. This is an opportunity for connection, for deeper connection with this person, for you to establish the roots of understanding, to harness the power of conversation so that you can both get to this celebratory phase, this 4 of Wands. This is sometimes called the marriage card, right? But the Four of Wands is all about celebration, homecoming, coming home to who you are. For some reason, when I was looking at this card, I've got the image of holding hands. And like when you're having this conversation, maybe you can hold hands with this person. And that creates the sense of safety, the sense of intimacy and shared space. The Mother gave us B, community, cooperation, sweetness. She also gave us Autumn, bounty, and balance. How can you approach this conversation with balance? Approach this conversation understanding that no one is perfect. And we talked about grace at the beginning with the turkey. You have a need to be witnessed. You have a need to be accepted. But you also need to bring that need for this person in your life as well. Accept them as they are. Accept them as they come. In what ways do they bring bounty into your life? In what ways do they enrich your life? Do they bring joy and abundance? You guys can cooperate together, but it has to be through a shared sense of community, through understanding the value of each other and what you bring to each other already, so you can understand how it is that you need to improve. The next card, The next card we got from the Mother is the Nine of Pentacles. This is the self-made woman. You see all the abundance here. And it's really interesting. I had an experience on my way home yesterday where a hawk flew across the road right in front of me. There was nothing around. It was perched in the tree line and then just flew across so fast. And I didn't know what it meant. And I'm still not sure what it meant, but it was probably for this very reading. And I almost put my sunflowers in the reading today, but because this was such a, sensitive topic, I didn't know if they went with the energy of the reading, but we have sunflowers here. So I think I'm going to go get one and bring it out and put it on the table with us. Look at how beautiful that is. We talked about how this is a gift, right? This relationship is a gift. This conversation with this person is a gift to be able to establish this generational healing, this generational understanding of authenticity. Sunflowers are regeneration. This is an opportunity for you both to be able to restore your relationship, make it better than what it was before. The Mother also gave us the Eight of Swords. This card represents self-imprisonment, limitations that you place on yourself that are only in your mind. The idea of being loosely bound, but bound by your own expectations and understanding of the world. In this particular representation, she has her toe in the water. And to me, that's tying back to your emotions, where we were talking about this reading is emotional freedom. And we talked about at the beginning, you have to be ready to claim your power, to claim your authenticity, to step in the fullness of who you are. So in what ways are you limiting that particular aspect of you? We have the Seven of Swords. This came out in the most recent reading about awakening, not breaking. This is such a gentle representation of the Seven of Swords. And I don't normally get this energy of deceit, but that's what's coming through for me today. Have you deceived yourself? Or has this person deceived themselves about what you want in life? The Mother quickly follows up with the Queen of Swords. This is divine clarity, divine feminine clarity. Look, there's another bird. We have an owl here. Owls are wisdom, right? There's the silent hunters in the forest. How can you release your wisdom? The wisdom that's deep inside you, that's grounded deep inside you, to unshackle yourself from this devil card. We already talked about how these are self-imposed limitations, self-imposed restrictions and binds. You always have the power to get away from anything that you're addicted to, anything that you are in a continuous cycle. In what ways has this been a continuous loop, a continued pattern or a pattern of behaviors that your soul's ready for you to escape? Oh my goodness, you guys. Ancient Wisdom. I forgot we even had this card. Ancient Wisdom from the Crone. And 23, Forgiveness. So in what ways do you need to forgive yourself to see that version of you that you are no longer, but that has been probably with you the majority of your life? The version of you that shrank from your nonlinear energy, that shrank from the authenticity of who you are, that shrank from speaking up for yourself, for channeling your own inner wisdom. Approach this with forgiveness, with grace, with gratitude. Thank your previous self. Thank your past self, the one who went through all the struggles so you could learn the lessons. And thank the previous versions of this person that you're talking to that helped you learn these lessons. The Crone then goes on with the 5 of Pentacles, the 7 of Wands, the Knight of Wands, the 3 of Wands, and the Page of Wands. Okay, guys. This is wild. This is wild. The Maiden gave us mostly Pentacle energy. The Mother gave us mostly Sword energy. And then the Crone is giving us mostly Wand energy. Earth, air, fire, groundedness, mental clarity, purpose and passion and drive. Forgive this previous you that was left out in the cold, that felt misunderstood, that felt they were trying to be controlled here. Stand your ground with the 7 of Wands. Stand in your full authentic power. Acknowledge that your struggles have been real, but part of that is because you've been trying to fit into a system that doesn't accept you as you are. When you're trying to cram something, like the common saying, putting a square peg in a round hole. You were never meant to be like everyone else. You were never meant to experience life the same way as everyone else. You were never meant to be that prim and proper rose. You're this wild sunflower, the one that grows and faces the sun. We have the sun here. Knight of Wands. Pursue yourself relentlessly. Pursue yourself relentlessly. Love yourself. Chase your passion. Chase your joy. 3 of Wands. Expand. Expand into the person who is not ashamed of their nonlinear minds. And the Page of Wands. This curiosity and creativity. Look, she looks like she's in a hyper focus right here. She's on a nature walk and she's collecting all these brand new sticks. I love that. Use your intuition to approach this person. Stand strong in the truth of who you are and that there's nothing wrong with you. And that for their support to feel like support, you need them to approach you in this manner. Something you could say is, what helps me more than a schedule is gentle check-ins, or even creating space to talk about what's on my plate without expecting me to follow a set plan. I have a friend and we both love plants and we love to get lost in our plants. And she was telling me about how her fiance has completely accepted her ADHD, accepted how she is as a person, doesn't try to fix her. And one thing I think he does phenomenally well, from what she's told me and what I know of him, is that he doesn't expect her to stop when she's in a hyper focus. He just looks after her and tends to her with love. So an example of that is she loves to be outside in her yard, right? We live in the South. It's very, very hot here. And I know I forget to eat. I forget to drink when I'm focused on something because you're enjoying it so much. You don't want to stop. You're just like a child, right? What he does is he will bring her something to drink. He will make her something to eat. What an act of service and love, guys. What a way to say, here, nourish yourself, and then go back to this hyperfocus. So use examples like those when you're talking to this person. Say, look, this is what I really need. This is what supports me. If you could do that, I would appreciate it more than anything in the world. Honor their heart. Thank them for caring about you so much. Thank them for showing up for you and being there for you. But tell them it doesn't align with what you are experiencing anymore. That you are accepting this passion, that you're expanding into this bright, full expression of yourself. And you need support that aligns with that. Support that sees you in your space, honors you in your energy, and celebrates every aspect of you. And there could be a need for some separation here. Not for you not to be involved with each other anymore, but simply to separate your goals, separate your plans for the day. You can say, I completely understand your need for a set schedule, and that's fine. How about you tell me what your plans are, and then we can come up with a time later in the day where I've been able to do what I want to do, where I've been able to focus on my newest craft, my newest hobby, my newest passion, and we can still come together later. It doesn't have to be planned out A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3. You can go and explore and have your own thing while I am setting up for my day. A lot of times when we're in our hyper-focus, it's soothing our nervous system. It's regulating our nervous system, allowing us to have a slow morning, have a peaceful weekend, regulate from the work week that we've had. Especially when there's so many people that don't have jobs that align with their soul's passion, that align with their true calling. That's soul exhaustion, guys. I talked about that in one of my readings. If I can find it, I'll link it for you. Honor the sweetness of this relationship, but do not forget to stand firm in who you are. You don't need to be fixed, my friend. And I think you're coming to realize that if you've been watching my readings. But there's going to be an education period for everyone around us, right? They're going to have to understand that we have new requirements. We have new standards. We're not going to be controlled and shunned by the world anymore. We're going to stand in the power of who we are. As radical and nonconformist as that may sound. And I think a beautiful way to end this conversation. A beautiful way to tie up this conversation with this person is to end it by creating a space of shared trust with each other. End the conversation by saying, even if I don't do things your way, please trust me to try. I am doing my best, even if it looks different than what you expect. Sending love and light to anyone that is open to receive it. Let me know below in the comments, please. How are you going to approach this conversation with this person? Were there any pieces of advice that really resonated with you? Or can you give us your own advice from these type of conversations? What did you say? How did you create common ground? How did you create shared trust and intimacy? Just like the sunflower, you're unique. You're radiant. You're worthy just because you are. Value yourself so others can value you. Like this video, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any more soul-affirming messages like these. You can join the waitlist for my group coaching, the Phoenix Framework. It's in the description below. Thank you for sharing your time with me, for sharing your attention. I know this is the most valuable currency in the world, and I honor you for being here today. I'm rooting for you. This conversation's going to go well. I know it, because everything is about intention, and your heart wants to honor this relationship, so it'll find a way. Remember, come as you are and stay as you become. We'll see you next time. Bye, my loves.